What if every ounce of power and speed your outboard promised was leaking away, killed not by age, but by silent mistakes you make every time you launch? The shocking things that are killing your outboard's performance and speed aren't rare disasters. They're routine habits. A single 8-inch prop pitch mismatch can slice away power you'll never get back. And just a misplaced 6-gallon tank can quietly slow you by miles per hour, all before chemistry and hidden flaws even get the chance to strike. Thousands of boaters lose years of performance this way without ever realizing it. So what's really draining your engine's potential? And how do you stop it before it's too late? Number 1 is trim and prop setup. If your trim angle is too low, you're forcing the bow down and dragging more hull through the water. That's pure wasted energy. Your engine works harder, but you lose speed and fuel efficiency. Now, look at prop pitch. This prop has an 8-inch pitch, so in perfect conditions, every revolution moves you forward 8 inches. If you mismatch pitch, say dropping from a 12-inch to an 8-inch, you get more revs, but the boat moves less each turn, and your top speed drops. Go too high with pitch, and your engine can't reach its ideal RPM, choking off power and straining components. Most boats lose 2 to 4 miles per hour from a bad trim or pitch combo, even with a healthy engine. The right geometry gives you lift, speed, and less drag. Get it wrong, and you're throwing away performance every time you throttle up. Number 2 is weight and load mistakes. Every pound you add or put in the wrong spot quietly drags down your speed. Take a 6-gallon gas tank, that's 40 to 50 pounds. If you stash it up front, you're forcing the bow down, making the hull plow through more water. The boat rides lower, and your engine has to work overtime just to keep pace. Now stack up coolers, batteries, or extra gear, and you're adding real resistance. It's not just about total weight, it's where you put it. Hull attitude changes with every shift, and that shows up on your GPS. Most setups lose a mile or 2 per hour for every 100 pounds of extra load. Overload it, and you're not just losing speed, you're burning more fuel and risking safety. Always pack smart, and don't let hidden weight rob your outboard's edge. Number 3 is ethanol fuel. Ethanol is like a magnet for water. Leave your boat sitting, and the alcohol in that gas starts pulling moisture right out of the air. Over time, you get phase separation. Water and alcohol drop to the bottom of your tank, and that layer is pure trouble. If your pickup sucks up that mix, your engine's running on something closer to swamp water than gasoline. Even a few ounces can kill power instantly. It's not just water either. Ethanol fuels feed bacteria that turn into acid, corroding tanks and lines from the inside out. You can see the impact in real-world disasters. At the Sarasota offshore race, several teams lost speed and had to pull out after bad ethanol fuel turned their engines into anchors. When you run ethanol-blended gas, you're gambling with every tank. That hidden chemistry quietly drains horsepower and leaves you stranded when you're least expected. Number 4 is skip maintenance. Letting service slide is like handing your horsepower away, one piece at a time. Red Dawson, a marine mechanic with a logbook going back to 1995, keeps every record of injector cleanings and plug changes. He's seen engines lose 10-15% of their rated power. No drama, just slow decline. Dirty injectors start to drip instead of misting. And that means incomplete combustion with every cycle. Old spark plugs get fouled, misfire under load, and rob you of acceleration. Worn impellers don't move enough water, so the engine runs hotter and hotter until it starts pulling time in to protect itself. Red's records show that an outboard missing 2 years of routine service can drop a full 1,000 RPM at wide open throttle. Every missed oil change, every skipped filter, it all adds up. The decay is silent, but it's preventable, if you stick to the schedule. Number 5 is coolant system blockages. Outboards rely on a steady stream of water, but even a small bit of silt or debris can choke off the flow. Yamaha's 2011 bulletin called out F115 and F150 models for overheating at speed. Turns out, inlet screens with holes just 1 millimeter wide were trapping junk and starving the engine of cooling water. Mercury had to recall lower units for the same reason, doubling mesh size to stop clog complaints. Drop your flow rate by 30% and head temperatures can spike 15 degrees or more. That's not just hot. It's enough to trip alarms and force your engine into limp mode. Number 6 is propeller cavitation. When bubbles collapse against the blade, they pit the metal. And that pitting isn't just cosmetic. Lab tests show that moderate pitting, covering just 10% of the blade, can drop your top speed by 2 knots and cut thrust by up to 7%. Severe erosion means higher fuel burn, more vibration, and a prop that's working against you every mile. These aren't just owner mistakes. These are design flaws and material choices that the manufacturers themselves have had to fix, one bulletin at a time. A 300-hour government endurance test on E15 fuel didn't just show wear. It left a 200-horsepower outboard with a shattered rod bearing and a 300-horsepower supercharged engine with cracked valves before the trial could finish. Exhaust temperatures climbed 20 degrees Celsius above spec, stressing every part. Warranty disputes erupted as the renewable fuel standard kept risky blends at the pump, raising the odds of misfueling and silent engine failure for anyone on the water. In 21, a government endurance test showed that outboards running E15 fuel suffered rod bearing failure and a 20 degrees Celsius spike in exhaust temperature within just 300 hours. Throughout this investigation, we exposed how simple trim and propeller mismatches can cost up to several miles per hour, while a misplaced 50-pound fuel tank or a 100-pound overload leads to measurable speed loss. Yet the most damaging threats are often invisible. Phase-separated ethanol fuel, injector corrosion logged by veteran mechanics like Red Dawson since 1995, and cooling blockages that triggered official recall bulletins from major manufacturers. Despite the evidence, the full impact of ongoing fuel policy changes and undisclosed design flaws remains unclear, with many warranty risks still unaddressed by regulators. What is certain, every outboard owner faces a combination of factors, some avoidable, some systemic, that erode performance and reliability. The documents and data are clear. Only informed vigilance can preserve the power and speed these engines were built to deliver.